Jeff, how'd the group look today? Anything jump out to you?
Yeah, we were really good today. Beautiful day. Probably just a reaction to practicing such horrible weather all last week and everybody being grateful for it to be 70 degrees and beautiful outside. It was a good day. Kids had a lot of energy, a lot of juice, flew around, and I challenged them pretty good. I didn't think we played just great. I didn't think we were bad. We played good. You saw glimpses of things the whole game. That's just not our standards, not our championship mindset, and we've got to be better this week to play a team that's a really good football team.
How have you seen the offensive line come together as you've gone a couple weeks without any new injuries?
Oh, obviously, we're a lot more cohesive. We can communicate a lot better. But our MA jumped up last week, so I would imagine that. I don't know. I don't think our plan was too complicated. Maybe it was, but we got a little higher in our MAs than we have been on the O-line, which is the first time that's kind of reared its head. We had some leaks. But credit to North Texas, too, for playing hard.
Luke Lopez going through his first season at this level. Have you seen him develop, or what's different about him now before he started?
Today's his birthday, so he's 21 now. So he's a mature young man, I'm sure now. Luke's been a real blessing for our offense. I mean, that allowed us to put Ernesto out there to replace Mackay. And obviously replacing Mackay is hard. But, losing Maka at center, we really worked hard to get Ernesto ready at center. And then Luke had the 2 reps all spring and has really done a really good job. I mean, he might have lost a couple of head-to-head battles with that nose guard, but he held his own Saturday. Looking
at Rice, what stands out to you about them so far this season?
Just their competitiveness. They're chippy. I mean, they got some swag to them, and they've got a really good quarterback and really good receivers. And the running back runs well. Their line's massive. Their defense they've recruited well. They're deep there. Mm-hmm. They play a lot of players, and they're as good in the special teams as Army. And we thought Army was the best team we played against in special teams. And they blocked a punt against SMU. They had a huge return against SMU, and they've done that throughout the year. It's not like it just showed up for that game. And Mike's done a really good job, and you can see he's got a good football team that's playing really well. They lost 2 really heartbreakers the last 2 weeks to 2 of the best teams in our conference.
Jeff, you guys went to some more sets with 2 tight ends against North Texas. How did you feel about how the group performed in that kind of alignment?
Yeah, it was Oscar's best game. Houston had a really good game. Obviously, we didn't get to have Cam, but Patrick went out there and played really well as well. That was just kind of what happened to our receivers. We got some late news on a couple of receivers about injuries, and we just did what we thought was best to get through that game.
Is Dan Dishman close to coming back and bolstering that?
Yeah. Since he'd only played in just 1 game, we tried to hold him so we could play him in the last 3 and redshirt him.
Saturday was the 4th straight game you guys scored an opening drive touchdown. What's been the key to coming out of the gate hot in these games?
I've got good players that have played together for a long time, and they've been in the system a long time, and we're just getting a little bit better. We just keep chipping away, and that was an impressive opening drive, especially when one running back runs for over 50 yards in the very first drive.
Do you guys still script the first few series each week, or is it more situational in a game?
We script every series. There's never a series not scripted, so we just script in between, and we get pulled off on our 3rd down, 4th down, red zone shots. We'll go to that script, but we script in between every series, just so our kids can get communicated with, so they'll be ready to roll when they're on the field.
This weekend being Veterans Day and kind of somewhat an annual thing that it seems UTSA is playing at home on Veterans Day. What does it mean to you guys to get a home game on such a big holiday for this area?
Yeah, just, Military Appreciation Week, and living in the military city of America, right? And we're very, very proud of that. We understand San Antonio is as well. We know how many people here are influenced by that, and it's a big deal to us. I've told y'all before, every one of our special teams is a military unit. Navy SEALs is our punt team, Rangers are our punt return team, Night Stalkers is our kickoff team, Delta kickoff return, Green Berets our field goal team, Hell on Wheels is our field goal block team. So we try to do as much, and we talk about it quite a bit in here to our team, just about what our military does for our country. And we were trying to do a promo yesterday, and they would want me to read off, warfare. We're going to war, and I'm just always really. I understand football lingo, and we like to say that for a terminology, but at times I ask myself, is that insulting to someone that's actually fought in a war? And some football coach is trying to make an analogy, but it's funny that came up yesterday just in a promo for this. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.